In the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yep.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the car. I'll go special. I'll go special.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. He will push his way down to about the 14. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves him with 3rd and just a yard.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Switch.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Dissly, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Hey, they're scared.
Wentz now on first down. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
16 yards. First down, Eagles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguise. Different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that's caught inside the 30. Give them 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. It's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
The warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Now they try the right side here. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know. And
that's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 56 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
He's coming, double up.
Now a handoff looking right. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Wilson. This is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Derek Watt, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On second down now, it's Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Line 2, on here. Mike 50. You're not ready. You're not ready. Mike 50.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's got his man. That's Landry. That one goes for 30 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. back at about the 37-yard line. Ziggy Ansah able to record his 5th sack of the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Least 5-2, least 5-2. Forward, Tokyo.
Throwing now is Wentz. He'll let this go for the end zone. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Straight 15, straight 15. Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 5.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He pitches it out, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
36 power. Took right. Check 53. Delta. You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? 53. Left for signal. 53 is the mic.
From the shotgun, Wilson forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want him to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Spot that.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. It's complete to Watt.
I think we need to come up with a different name for this position. We keep calling it the fullback position. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback, but we know this. Whoever's coming out of that spot is usually bigger and stronger, and they may not run away from people, but they'll run through them.
Yeah, able to shed tacklers. We saw it right there.
Undercrush. 40.
Here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On second down, it's Sanders, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slapped. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A gain there of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. This one to McGuire, screenplay. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now Wentz. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with a good field position they just took over with. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go. Check 31.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Sean Wilson on the return. Come on, fellas. The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now Wentz. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Wentz to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
Sunday. Mike's 54. Mike's 50. Hey, Charlie. Defense wins championships, baby. Hey, watch that.
A final shot before half for Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, as time expires in the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen. But when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From the 44, Wentz under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And Sanders has got it complete. And Sanders has it poked free. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll increase their lead to 28. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Running the jet sweep, Landry. And some room to maneuver. Jarvis Landry. He's at the 30. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for Philly. 62 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Now bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2. Throwing is Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This will be fielded at the 6. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. From the gun, it's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Now Carson fumbles the football, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
On 1st down, Sanders. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Seahawks 44-yard line.
Hey, empty. We're 5-7. Go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the 1st. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
SOS. Check. Man 5-7. Hey, 5-7.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Wilson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Wentz now to throw. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Wentz going to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Landry, the intended target.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on another, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. From the 31, Wentz over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word against symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Hey, dude. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. Let's find 7. Mike 50. Here, shift. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job. got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter down in Arizona. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. The 20, 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Go. 54.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now a handoff looking right. Dances by him. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Wilson wants to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. This will be taken short. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go. Back. 180.
Bandit. Under 10.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
At the 15-yard line.
You draw quarters.
They'll go again with Sanders. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Coming to you. Rip. Showing that. Hey, other side, solid.
Wentz now on first down. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2. One final try now for Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Check. 53's Mike. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Jim. One left.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the season.